Tonight, GFL has early morning lineups for something other than vaccinations.
I'm Craig Huckerby. We have a change coming for our weather. I'll give you all those details coming up.
I'm Jacob Moore here of All Your Sports. The Edmonton Elks did manage to get their first win of the season, but they have another major issue. I'll tell you what, coming up.
News at Night with Colette Linden.
Good evening. Welcome to News at Night. I'm Colette Linden. Lineups outside the GFL arena are a common sight, and today was no exception. The reason this time doesn't relate to vaccine clinics. A limited amount of tickets have just gone on sale for our beloved OHL hockey team, the Sault Greyhounds. Sports analyst Jacob Moore has all of the details.
Thanks, Colette. The Sault Greyhounds are finally getting back in action, and fans are really excited about getting back in the building. Tickets went on sale today at 10 p.m. and at one point we saw over 100 people lining up, including people waiting for over an hour. There will only be 1,000 tickets sold to one scrimmage game, which is a red and white game, which is held on Friday, September the 3rd at 7:07 p.m. There will also be two preseason games, and these games will be held on Sunday, September 5th at 2:07 and Saturday, September 25th at 7:07. These games will not have the mandatory vaccination policy, however, as this policy does not go into effect until October 7th, the start of the regular season. Back to you, Colette, for the rest of the news.
On Sunday afternoon, police, fire, and ambulance attended a business on Pym Street. Sault Online has been able to confirm a tip to our newsroom stating someone passed away at the Canadian Motel. According to the tipster, a woman was seen with a syringe and tin foil in her hand, while another was frantically screaming a male had died at the location. Sault Online reached out to Sault Police Services, who can confirm they conducted a sudden death investigation in the 400 block of Pym Street. On August the 21st, officers with Patrol Services charged 32-year-old Olivia Shadell with assault with a weapon. Around 11:30 in the morning, officers attended a residence in the 100 block of James Street after receiving reports a woman assaulted a victim. Upon arrival, officers began investigating and determined the accused attended a residence in the 100 block of James Street. At this time, the accused struck the victim in the face and attempted to hit them with a bottle, then left the area. Officers located the accused around 11:45 a.m. and she was arrested, charged with assault with a weapon. She was released by way of an undertaking and is scheduled to appear in court on October 18th. On August 21st, officers with Patrol Services charged 40-year-old Loretta Carey with assault with a weapon. On the 15th of August, the accused attended a business in the 0 to 100 block of Queen Street East, selected approximately $24 in face coverings from a rack, and left without attempting to pay. On the 20th of August, the accused attended the same business in the 0 to 100 block of Queen East, selected two sweaters valued at approximately $150, and again left without attempting to pay. During this occurrence, staff observed the accused stealing the items and followed her out of the business, attempting to recover the stolen items. As the accused fled the area, she threw needles at staff. Officers investigated both incidents and developed grounds to believe the accused was involved in both of them. A warrant was requested and issued for her arrest. On the 21st of August, around 9 p.m., officers observed the accused walking the area of Albert Street East and Bruce. Officers knew she was wanted and was arrested. She is charged with assault with a weapon and 2 counts of theft under $5,000. She was released by way of an undertaking and is scheduled to appear in court on October the 18th. On August the 20th, officers with Patrol Services charged 63-year-old Joseph Chartrand with impaired driving due to alcohol and drugs. Around 9:40 p.m. that day, police were called about a single vehicle collision in the area of McDonald and Lake Street. Upon arrival, fire services and EMS were on scene and officers observed some flames under the vehicle. Upon speaking with the accused, they determined he was the driver at the time of the collision. As a result of the investigation, officers developed ground to believe the accused's ability to operate a motor vehicle was definitely impaired by alcohol. He was arrested and later provided 2 samples into an approved device, registering 2 failed results. He's charged with impaired driving, alcohol and drugs, and impaired driving, blood alcohol concentration 80+. He was released on an appearance notice and will appear in court on the 18th of October. SaultOnline.com broke the story that long-running and popular downtown restaurant had closed its doors, albeit temporarily. At the time, SaultOnline.com had learned from various sources close to the situation that the closure was believed to be permanent. Owner Rob Dorenzo did not return our calls. However, another media outlet reported that SaultOnline.com's story was false And in that story, Dorenzo did not deny or say if the restaurant was actually closed or not. Today, SiouxOnline.com has learned the building has been put up for sale. The restaurant remains closed and has been shut down since mid-July of this year. Staff that have worked at Muyo's have been offered positions at another local restaurant. The phone number for Muyo's has been disconnected, and the restaurant was started by brothers Pat and Carmen Muyo. After a few years, some partners were added to the mix, one being Rocco Dorenzo. Rocco took over the business in the 1980s with his wife Linda. Youngest son Robert took over the business in 1997. At the moment, there's only speculation of what will become of the landmark location. Muyo's was an anchor to the downtown area since opening. The business and restaurant could reopen under new ownership. The building could become home to a new business venture or a new restaurant with a new name, or perhaps the same. At the time of publication, the price tag of this building is unknown. Although the pandemic has meant a prolonged disruption to public concerts, the Sault Symphony Orchestra is happy to say that things are going well for their organization. Earlier this year, thanks to funding from the City of Sault Ste. Marie, the SSO launched Seniors Connect. Through this program, SSO musicians connect virtually with residents of local retirement homes to help combat the impacts of ongoing isolation. The seniors who have taken part in the program to date have enjoyed hearing from the musicians and sharing their own musical memories. The musicians have found the visit equally rewarding, and thanks to the Ontario Trillium Fund also received early this year, the Symphony has been able to hire a Director of Advancement, the first regular office staff member the organization has employed in several years. The Director of Advancement is approving hard to improve the organization's marketing, fundraising, and outreach efforts. Other grant applications are in the works as well, including one that will allow SSO to commission a new piece by a Canadian composer.
Well, another hot and steamy day here in the Sault. Temperatures of 27, feeling like 35. We have one more really muggy day tomorrow, and then we're going to start seeing a change in our weather that's going to cool us down quite a bit. I'll have those details right after the break.
On TV News, supported by James Seaton Mortgage Specialist. Your new home doesn't come with mortgage advice. I do. Call James Seaton Mortgage Specialist, RBC 705-975-1519. On TV News, supported by Rick Mooney, Sales Representative for Street City Realty. Sold, the sign you want, Rick, the realtor you need.
Just once in a while, at parties and stuff. If that's what your kid says, they'll probably also tell you that it's not a big deal. But that's no reason not to talk about it. You could tell them that you think that's a good thing and that you're really happy they don't use it that often. Then ask them why. Maybe deep down they know it's bad, they just need your help realizing it. From there, it should be pretty easy to drop off the hint that their brain is still growing and that they shouldn't smoke pot. At least not until they're older.
Visit drugfreekidscanada.org for more tools to help start the conversation.
Loss is something that never leaves you. Donate $45 today to help victims of impaired driving. A message from MAD Canada.
And welcome back, everyone. We're going to start looking at the radar and show you what's coming our way over the next 48 hours or so. This is a warm front that is associated with a low pressure system out to the back. Also a cold front that's going to be changing our weather come Friday, well actually come Thursday into Friday. Most of this activity is going to fall towards the south, is staying there, and that's basically what happens when we see a front move from the west. We tend to thin it out as it approaches the Sault, and then it kind of builds back up again as after it gets after the Sault. But we do have forecasts for a rain shower and also thunderstorms for overnight tonight, so we could see some activity, but for the most part I don't think we're going to see it. We will see some cloud though. We will see some muggy temperatures for our day tomorrow. This is the warm front right here, kind of blowing up. You can see the dark clouds here. That's basically staying stateside. We are going to see some cloud for sure. As far as any sort of heavy thunderstorms or rain showers, it's kind of iffy. Not even along this cold front. will we see a lot of rain activity, but we will see a change in wind and also temperatures as that front makes its way through. We'll take a look now at the temperatures for tonight. We're all pretty much around the mid-teens. 15 degrees for your overnight low, 16s Timmins and Sudbury. So we're all under this kind of muggy air mass. It's going to feel a little warmer than 15 degrees because humidity levels do kind of creep up during the nighttime. For our day tomorrow, this is how we draw it. We have that low pressure system here, the warm front coming in tonight. So, I mean, we do have showers that we could linger into our morning. I'm not going to say we're not going to see any showers. It's just we're not going to see any widespread showers along this front or this cold front, but we will see the change in wind and also dropping our temperatures to about 17 degrees by the end of this week. This is what we look like for the next 12 hours. For your evening, not bad, 24 degrees. We're going to continue to cloud over during the evening. We do have showers developing overnight. Those are going to be very light, if anything. We will feel muggy though by tomorrow morning. We do have some thunderstorms potentially for our morning, but then we're going to clear out for our day tomorrow with 27 degrees. So we're still staying warm and muggy for our day on Wednesday, and then we start seeing the influence of that cold front, especially by Friday, as we fall anywhere between 17 and 19 degrees for your high, but those overnight lows are also dipping quite a bit. Then we have lingering showers as another low pressure system comes in for Saturday and for Sunday, giving us a shot of showers. Around 60% of the area should see some rain this weekend. Temperatures dropping off, and then we kind of build those back up for the end of August. So we're not ending August on a cold note. We just have a little bit of a dip in temperatures coming this weekend. That is your forecast for right now. We're going to send it over to Jacob, who has the latest on the Toronto Raptors.
Well, Craig, the Toronto Raptors were unable to play at home for almost 2 years now, and they're really hoping they can get back in here. The Raptors season is set to start in October, and I'll tell you where they could be playing coming up right after this break.
On TV News, supported by Tenaris Algoma Tubes. Kickstart your career. Tenaris is rapidly growing in Sault Ste. Marie and looking for individuals interested in rewarding production and technician roles. If you are ready for a progressive career opportunity with benefits in advanced manufacturing, then please send your resume to resumes@tenaris.com.
On TV News, supported by The Refinery, the leader in women's fitness and transformations. 624 Wellington Street West in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Call 705-255-8895 for more information.
Family owned and operated, A.G. Quinnell Well Drilling has been serving Sault Ste. Marie and surrounding area since 1968. For a free estimate, call 705-779-3909. A.G. Quinnell Well Drilling, available for all your water needs. 1944, 2nd Line West, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. A.G. Quinnell Well Drilling. Call 705-779-3909 for a free estimate today.
The Women's World Hockey Championship is well underway, and so far Team Canada is going through it pretty easily. Tonight could be another easy contest, or maybe we'll see a bit of a surprise. Canada will be battling Switzerland tonight at 6 p.m. Canada has not lost to Switzerland in over 24 years at the Women's World Hockey Championship, and they're hoping to keep their perfect record. While Switzerland is hoping that maybe Canada won't come prepared and they'll be able to get the jump on them early. This game is tonight at 6 p.m. The Toronto Blue Jays were back in action last night looking for a much needed win, and normally their bats get the job done, but last night it was their pitching. The Jays pitching and defense played a stellar game, only allowing 1 run. The Jays were only able to get 2, but that was enough for them to win this game 2-1. The Jays need to start piling up these wins as they are slipping in the AL East, and they know that it's do or die for them to make the playoffs. The Jays are back in action again for the second game out of 4 for this mini-series versus the Chicago White Sox. The Toronto Raptors are hoping to be back in Toronto for the start of the season. Their home opener is set to take place as their second game of the year versus the Washington Wizards. As of right now, the Raptors are preparing to play in Toronto, although they are still waiting for the green light. There is no word yet if they will be able to play in Toronto, but with the Jays, Leafs, Blue Jays, and Argonauts playing, the Raptors are feeling positive about it. As the NFL preseason gets underway, we've been through a couple weeks and we now have the power rankings of the teams, so let's check out the top 4. The Kansas City Chiefs are currently sitting number 1, as last year they almost took home that Super Bowl, getting to the finals. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are sitting in that second spot, who are trying to repeat a Super Bowl championship. Third is the Buffalo Bills, who just made that big signing, keeping Josh Allen to this team to keep the core together. And last but not least, to round out the top 4 are the Green Bay Packers, who do have some controversy in quarterback, with Aaron Rodgers, who has expressed that he doesn't want to play here, but is going to stick it out for at least another year. Thursday night's game between the Toronto Argonauts and the Edmonton Elks has been postponed. This game has been postponed due to the Edmonton Elks having multiple COVID-19 tests come back positive. The team now has 9 total positive tests from the team, including players, staff, and the rest of their team. Out of these 9 players, it's a mixed batch between unvaccinated and vaccinated players. The Elks announced on Twitter that their facilities will be closed for the next 7 days so they can try to eradicate the virus that is still here. If this game is unable to be rescheduled, the Elks will lose the game 1-0 to the Toronto Argonauts. If both teams have under 85% of their players vaccinated, nobody's getting paid. We are still unsure if this game will be rescheduled. We had a busy week for the 3rd week in the Canadian Football League, so let's break down these games. The BC Lions were unable to get the job done, losing to the Elks 21-16. The Elks finally get their first win of the season. The Montreal Alouettes were looking to stay undefeated, while the Calgary Stampeders were looking to finally get another win. Unfortunately for the Alouettes, they were unable to finish this, as this game ended at the 1-yard line, as the Alouettes lost to the Stampeders 28-22. The third game of the week was the Toronto Argos versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The Argos took an early 13-0 lead after the first quarter and never looked back, winning this game 30-23. Last but not least, we have the Ottawa Red Blacks versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Ottawa Red Blacks just could not get their offense going, and the Roughriders won this game mostly off field goals, winning this game 23-10. Well, that's it for all your sports, but always stay locked to Sioux Online and on TV. We always got you covered. We also got news covered. Colette's got the rest of your newscast right after this break.
On TV News, supported by Tammy Ovey. Are you looking for an agent who confidently knows the culture and community of Sault Ste. Marie? Call Tammy Ovey, 705-971-0171. On TV News, supported by United Way. Help make your community a better place. Show your local love and donate today.
On August 21st, shortly after 12:30 p.m., members from the East Algoma detachment of the OPP, as well as members from the Algoma Paramedic Services, responded to a collision involving an all-terrain vehicle on Carpenter Lake Road at approximately 48 kilometers north of the town of Bruce Mines. Investigation revealed that the ATV was northbound on Carpenter Lake Road when it left the roadway, entered a ditch, and collided with a tree. The driver, Alan McDonald, 71 years of age, from the Sioux, was pronounced deceased at the scene. An OPP technical collision investigator was deployed to the scene and is assisting in the investigation. A post-mortem examination is expected to take place, but has not been scheduled as of yet. With the scorching hot temperatures and summery days, people with gardens and fruit trees are already seeing nature's bounty. If you are drowning in cucumbers, zucchini, apples, and tomatoes, what do you do with it all? What do you do with all that abundance? Well, if you are harvesting more fresh food than you can handle, don't forget that you can share this with your local community. United Way's Harvest Algoma Food Resource Center is taking a new approach to receiving fresh food donations this year, and how we can exactly resurrect the fallen fruit project that fell to rot in 2020. With immunization rates increasing and new COVID-19 protocols in place, Harvest Algoma is anticipating that community gleaning projects can go ahead as normal this fall. If you have fresh garden produce that you would like to donate, you can connect to a number of different locations in the community. So connect the dots. Community Harvest accepts donations for a grow-a-row each Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Mill Market. Other food banks may be interested in accepting produce directly as well, but please phone ahead to ensure they have storage space. When all else fails, United Way's Harvest Algoma will accept any fresh produce Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you have a fruit tree that you would like to have fruit picked from, Harvest Algoma will be coordinating teams of volunteers to pick in the coming weeks. Contact Darren Logistics Coordinator at 705-253-0273, extension 201. An outspoken member of Ontario's Pandemic Science Advisory Table said Monday that he had resigned from the group over alleged political considerations he argued were influencing its work, claims the body of experts rejected. Dr. David Fistman shared his letter of resignation from the Ontario COVID-19 Science Advisory Table on Twitter, saying he had grown increasingly uncomfortable with how much politics was driving what it did and that he had to repeatedly publicly dissent from its guidance. Over the weekend, Fistman also alleged on Twitter that the table was sitting on important modeling work that projects a very grim fall. Fistman was one of 5 Science Table members who recused themselves from the group's advice on Premier Doug Ford to reopening schools in May, when the province was fighting a deadly third wave of infections that strained the healthcare system. The expert group at the time recommended a regional school reopening to mitigate harms from school closures. Advice Ford did not heed, opting to keep all schools shut until the end of the academic year. A spokesman for the Science Table said Monday that the group is completely independent of government and always has been. Robert Steiner said the table is not withholding pandemic modeling for the fall, but is currently generating a number of models and has yet to reach a consensus. Opposition politicians called on Monday for Ford, who has not addressed the media in weeks, to comment on this matter, which has surfaced as the province weathers a 4th wave of COVID-19 infections driven by the contagious Delta variant. Ontario reported 639 new COVID-19 cases on Monday, with 515 of the infected people not fully vaccinated against the virus or with unknown vaccination status. Ontario is reporting 486 new cases of COVID-19 today, as well as 18 additional deaths. The Ministry of Health says 16 of those deaths took place more than 2 months ago and were included in today's numbers as part of a data cleanup. In a tweet, Minister of Health Christine Elliott said 372 new cases are people who are not fully vaccinated or have an unknown vaccination status, while 114 are in fully vaccinated individuals. The majority of seriously ill Ontarians are unvaccinated, with 67 unvaccinated people in ICU compared to 7 fully vaccinated. Provincial stats show that 82% of all people aged 12 or over have had at least one vaccine dose, with 75% fully vaccinated. 24 COVID-19 cases have been linked to an outbreak in a Hamilton nightclub. This is reported by Hamilton Public Health, which was confirmed Monday that 24 COVID-19 infections have been linked to a popular nightclub in this city's bar district. The Public Health Unit is advising anyone who may have been at Sizzle nightclub on August 7th, August 13th, or August 14th to get tested and self-monitor for symptoms of COVID. The outbreak was first declared on Friday with 9 confirmed cases and has now since risen to 24 infections as of Monday. Hamilton Public Health is urging anyone with questions to contact the Public Health Services, the COVID-19 hotline specifically. Hamilton's COVID-19 case incidence per 100,000 people was considered high at just over 10, with the Public Health Unit's percent positivity at 6. Ontario logged 639 new cases of COVID-19 on Monday, the 4th straight day in which the daily infections have been over the 600 thresholds. Trillium Therapeutics Inc. has signed a deal to be bought by Pfizer Inc. in an agreement valued at US dollars 2.26 billion. Under the plan, Pfizer will pay US dollars $18.50 per share in cash for the Mississauga, Ontario-based biotechnology company. Trillium is developing treatments to enhance the ability of patients' immune system to detect and destroy cancer cells. The acquisition follows Pfizer's $25 million US investment in Trillium back in September of 2020. The deal is subject to customary closing conditions, including approval by 2/3 majority vote by Trillium shareholders. Trillium shares were up $11.48 US at $17.57 US in trading on the NASDAQ market, while they were up $14.60 Canadian to $22.41 Canadian on the Toronto Stock Exchange. The city's Public Works and Engineering Services Department would like to inform motorists that Adeline Avenue Railway, a crossing between McNabb Street to Trunk, will be closed Wednesday, August the 25th, as well as Thursday, August the 26th. The closure is necessary to facilitate railway repair at Adeline Avenue. During this time, construction signs including road closure and directional information will be posted to direct traffic through the area. Motorists are urged to be cautious and obey all signage. The City of Sault Ste. Marie thanks its citizens for their patience and cooperation during this temporary road closure period. That's your news at night for Tuesday, August the 24th. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of Craig Huckabee and Jacob Moore, I'm Colette Linden. We'll see you tomorrow morning.